Cybersecurity threats to critical infrastructure. Why everybody must prepare. Imagine waking up one morning to find that the lights won't turn on, your phone has no signal, and the water tap runs dry. As you step outside, you're greeted with an eerie silence, and the usual hum of activity has been replaced by an unsettling stillness. Traffic lights are out, causing chaos on the streets as panicked drivers navigate intersections without guidance. Stores and businesses are dark. Their doors are closed due to a lack of power and communication. With telecommunications networks disrupted, you're unable to reach any loved ones or emergency services for assistance. The absence of reliable information leaves you feeling isolated and vulnerable, unsure of what's happening and how to respond. Without access to clean water, basic hygiene becomes a challenge, and concerns about sanitation and health begin to mount. As the hours stretch into days, the situation grows increasingly dire. Food supplies dwindle, and without refrigeration, perishable items spoil quickly. The lack of heating or cooling systems exacerbates discomfort, especially in extreme weather conditions. Without access to essential services like healthcare and emergency response, even minor injuries or illnesses become potentially life-threatening. The disruption of essential services undermines the fabric of society, causing widespread chaos, panic, and suffering. Well, what about government help? The collapse of critical infrastructure would likely result in a breakdown of government communication and response capabilities, leaving people without access to official guidance or assistance, or any knowledge of what's going on. Without functioning telecommunication networks, traditional channels of communication with government agencies would be rendered ineffective, exacerbating that sense of uncertainty and isolation. TV stations, the internet, and phone service would be inoperable. While radio communication might offer some limited access to information, its reliability and reach could be compromised by the widespread disruption of infrastructure. As a result, people would be left to navigate the crisis largely on their own, relying on personal preparedness and community support to weather this storm. Now, this scenario might sound like a total dystopian nightmare, but it's not far-fetched in today's interconnected world. And it's especially not far-fetched given the recent warning that we have received from the FBI. FBI Director Christopher Wray has warned that they have discovered a plot against the U.S. The ongoing Chinese hacking campaign, known as Volt Typhoon, sheds light on the stark reality. Our critical infrastructure is under siege. This isn't just another headline. It is a wake-up call for every person to take cybersecurity threats seriously. This will happen, they say. It is just a matter of when the Chinese decide it's the right time, the most disastrous time for the U.S., to unleash this campaign. The urgency of preparation. You might be tempted to scroll past or dismiss this information as irrelevant to your daily life, or it's just more clickbait. After all, it's easy to believe that such threats only affect distant countries or large corporations. But the truth is far more alarming. Did you know that 23 pipeline operators in the U.S. are specifically targeted right now to be taken out by these cyber attacks? Our infrastructure is not as secure as we'd like to think it is. In fact, nearly 4,000 new cyber attacks occur every single day, and the victim count has increased by 1,517% over the past 2 decades. And this isn't just about protecting corporations or government agencies. It's about safeguarding the very fabric of our society. The potential impact. Let's consider for a minute what could happen if Volt Typhoon succeeds in its goal. The FBI director has warned that the ultimate aim of this campaign is to deter the U.S. from defending Taiwan. But what does this mean for regular people like you and me? It means that our critical infrastructure, the backbone of our society, is at risk of being compromised. Power grids could be shut down, communication networks disrupted, and water supplies contaminated. Additionally, Director Wray has publicly stated the FBI knows Chinese hackers have successfully gained access to numerous American companies in telecommunications, energy, water, and other critical sectors. The consequences would be devastating, leading to widespread chaos, panic, and potentially loss of life. Taking action. So what can you do to protect yourself and your loved ones from the looming threat of cyber attacks on critical infrastructure? It starts with awareness and preparedness. By acknowledging the reality of this situation and taking proactive steps to fortify your defenses, you can mitigate the impact of potential disruptions. Strengthen your personal cybersecurity. Use strong, unique passwords and enable two-factor authentication to protect your accounts from unauthorized access. Install reputable antivirus software and keep your devices and software updated to minimize vulnerabilities to cyber attacks. Diversify your communication channels. Familiarize yourself with alternative communication methods like text messaging or social media platforms to maintain connectivity during network disruptions. Establish communication plans with family and friends, including designating meeting spots and emergency contact information in case traditional communication channels fail. Secure your basic necessities. Keep a supply of non-perishable food, water, and medical supplies to sustain yourself and your family during these emergencies when access to critical infrastructure may be limited or gone. Invest in emergency preparedness kits containing things like flashlights, batteries, and first aid supplies to address immediate needs during power outages or other disruptions. Build community resilience. Connect with neighbors and community members to form support networks and share resources in times of crisis, fostering a sense of solidarity and cooperation. Participate in community preparedness initiatives and disaster response training to enhance collective resilience and response capabilities. Stay informed and vigilant. Stay updated on potential cyber threats and emerging risks through reliable sources of information, including some government alerts and cybersecurity experts. And remain vigilant for signs of suspicious activity, both online and in your community, and report any unusual behavior or incidents to appropriate authorities promptly. Remember, cybersecurity threats are not distant threats. They are very real and very present in our lives. Our critical infrastructure is alarmingly vulnerable to cyber attacks, with just a handful of coordinated strikes capable of causing widespread chaos. Shockingly, it's estimated that targeting as few as 9 key points in our grid could potentially cripple the entire country, highlighting the fragility of our interconnected systems and the urgent need for robust cybersecurity measures. The time to prepare is now before it's too late. By taking proactive steps now, you can protect yourself against these inevitable infrastructure attacks ahead, whenever the Chinese decide to launch them.